Alright, I find myself often thinking about how family is not just an important thing, it's everything. I am so unbelievably fortunate to have such a loving, supportive, and genuine family. Even though we don't always get to see each other that often, it feels like we can easily pick up where we left off. I can't even begin to explain how much I look up to each individual person in this room. Growing up as the youngest in the family and being an only child, my cousins were and still remain to be my best friends. As for all my aunts and uncles, I look up to you guys tremendously for all of your guidance. On the way to dinner last night, Uncle Dave, Angela, Carlo, and I were late leaving the hotel. I got in the car and Uncle Dave was apologizing. I said, "Oh, no worries, not everyone is even there yet." He goes, "Wow, no worries, I really like that." I proceeded to say that that should be our motto for this reunion. As I was sitting in the car, I began to think sorry. I began to think about it more. When I'm with my family, I have no worries. I'm surrounded by the people I care most for and I love. As Carly said last night, without Nani and Tadeusz, none of us would even be here.
Yeah. No worries, babe. No worries.
She's laughing. It's not crying, it's all right.
I'm so happy to have my grandparents in my life. With that being said, happy belated birthday to me.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. So beautiful, sweetheart. Oh, that was so beautiful. That was wonderful.
I'm so proud of
Oh,
you.
so beautiful.
So proud. Courage and brave.
College asset.
All from the heart.
Yeah.
That was
Great.
beautiful, Sam.
That a good babe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Love you, doll.
The fashionista, Sammy Cohn.
Sammy and I had a little speech writing party last night. Okay. So not just when we're all together, but in my daily life, when I'm around people my own age, I'm always realizing that I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate to have such a wonderful family. Most people my own age can't say the same, I think. Not everyone can say that they have a good relationship with their siblings, that they have parents that they look up to, cousins that they can be friends with, aunts and uncles that they admire, and grandparents that they cherish. Not everyone has a family that they understand and who understands them. All the values that I have that make me a lucky person in my generation have trickled down from Tadeusz and Nani to my parents and then to me and Carlo. And it'll continue on through generations. Happy birthday.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
If you can't hear me, just let me know. I have a quiet voice. Can you hear me, Tadeusz? Yeah. No.
Get
want to say I really appreciated how yesterday everybody was saying they mentioned my mom, and was that my mom was in everybody's thoughts, because it means a lot, not only to me, my dad, and my sister, but my mom the most. And I know that when she comes home, and I tell her all about this, she'll be very happy to know that she is loved very much by everybody. So in these past 4 years, as I've grown older and into a young adult, a lot of my friends and people that I know in the family for my dad, they say that I've started to resemble my father more and more often. They say I look more like my dad than I did when I was a baby. They say my manners were the same. And my girlfriend even pointed out that if you guys know my dad, just in public, he'll just put his feet on the table and he'll just he has a bag. And I did that. I was doing that one time, and my girlfriend said, "Oh my God, you're just like your dad." And these are all things that if someone was with my dad and I in the first 30 minutes, they could pick that out, because it's something that you see, it's on the surface level, but something that they wouldn't necessarily notice right off the bat is, like Angela was saying, the values, my beliefs, my outlook on life, and my ideals that my dad and this whole family has instilled into me. And being here in these last 3 days, being with you, Tadesh and Nani, it made me realize that this is something that I always knew, but I wasn't aware of, was that all these things that my dad and my mom have taught me throughout as I've grown up, well, not my mom, but my dad, were because she's not related. You know I love her, but were the same exact things that you taught my dad and all my uncles and aunts. And for example, last night when you got up to speak, you said, the Lord still has a job for me, and if he has a job for me, I want to do it right. And my dad, he's always told me, "Hey, Carlo, your Tadesh always says, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing right." And when you said that yesterday, it made it real, because it's not something that I heard from him, it's something I heard from you. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I just want to live my life by through, forever. And even though we're 7 years apart in age, we live 700 miles away, and we see each other only 3 or 4 times a year, you've still taught me how to be a good person, and you've influenced who I am today, and I'm proud of who I am today because of you. And I love you very much, Tadesh. Happy birthday. Yeah.
You're attractive.
Dave, can you show us how you stretch your leg out?
On a table? So you walk into a table and go, all right.
We were at the airport in the baggage claim. We're waiting there for our bag. And he goes on the table and he just goes. And then this guy next to me is like, my sister and I, we were looking at each other like just doing it again.
I'm gonna go. Great.
Right, so
I feel like I should chug this before I go.
It'll be fun.
I'm gonna first say that thank you, Sammy and Angela, for crying, because I usually set that bar, so hopefully I can do this. No, I can't. Pinch your nose.
you can do it, Flora.
You can get married.
Deep breath.
No worries. When I was a junior in college, I took a public speaking class, but obviously you wouldn't tell that I passed that class with an A, because I can't even stand up here and talk to you. In April, to take him around and introduce him to my coworkers and brag that we have before us a 90-year-old man, a World War II survivor. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
They could not believe that he was 90. They really could not believe. They were so honored to meet him, and it was more than my pleasure to take you around to my coworkers and show you off. So thank you for coming to take me out to lunch. Thank you for being such a pillar of strength for our family. Thank you for everything, Touch. You don't look a day over 70. I'm hoping that your good genes will pass on down to us. So I just was so honored that you came and spent time with me one-on-one. I felt so spoiled to have you all to myself. So thank you so much. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Oh, I had a little drink about 5 minutes ago. And it went right through my head. You can always hear me singing this song. Show me the way to go.
Nicely done.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you.
Much much. That was impromptu. Beautiful. Love you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Just awesome.
When I meet a new lady,
Which is every 5 minutes.
there are a new what? Lady. Okay. There are various things I can say. Most of which work. But my favorite is my grandfather's 90. He still has a full head of hair, and none of them are gray. And they look at me, and I says, "Now I'm really attractive, aren't I?" I'd like to thank you for my stunning good looks. There's a saying that every father should remember that one day his son will follow his example instead of his advice. So with that being said, I have literally spent the last 5.5 months with you, because when I'm not with you, I'm with my father. And it's like being with you.
Interesting.
I'm not
Awesome.
with my father, I'm with my brother, and it's like being with you. So, you know, you have passed down all these things, like Carlos said, the morals and, you know, love and responsibility and humor, and it's like I'm constantly with you, and it's unforgettable, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've given everyone in here. It's not just me. So you're the best. I love you.
Well, beautiful. That's awesome. Oh, Timmy, that's funny.
It was good, too.
That was awesome.
Much. Stunning good looks. Stunning.
Such a great delivery. My God. Well done. Well done, Tim.
Do you want water or do you want booze?
Ginger ale.
Take the water.
Here's water right here. A little bit of this.
A bit of,
Here you go. Take it. Take it. Get up there. Go.
bing and a bong. Bing.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Go.
Bada bing.
Public speaking is not my thing. I didn't take a class in college. I don't think I went to college.
Bill, it's not your what?
Huh?
It's not your what?
What's not my what?
It's
not my thing.
Okay, got it.
It's not my thing. Uncle Tom told me once, you know, when you're doing this, you got to pretend everybody's in underwear, but you guys are all related to me, so it's kind of weird. Plus, to make matters worse, I overheard my mom out there telling my dad she's in a thong, so. A little rough on the stomach, you know what I When I'm in the room, you gotta be careful what you say. Being the oldest grandchild, obviously I have the most memories of, everything, I'm gonna be 27 next month, and
You're wrong, buddy.
So I remember Hamlet Street pretty well. We drove by yesterday, brought back a lot of memories. I remember the collie, Heidi, I believe their name was.
Yeah.
I remember those beads that used to block off the walkway into the office. I used to run through them because they made that weird sound. What else? I remember Nani baking the bread, the Easter bread all the time.
Wow.
I remember Reed. I remember a lot of weird things. I remember Uncle Tom and then Uncle Jeff just driving down the road, blowing through the stop sign. I didn't care. I really don't remember what the point of the story was, but I'm sure it was. Yeah. I really don't remember what the point of the story was. But anyway, the one funny story I have about Todd, which is every year when I was younger, my parents used to drive up to Roscoe Diner. It's about halfway from my house to Nani Todd's. And Nani Todd just come down to Roscoe Diner, pick me up, and I would go for a week and stay with you guys. And it was fun for two reasons. One, I got to hang out with Nani Todd, and the other is I got away from a week full of chores around the house. So.
Did you actually do this?
Yeah, I did. For free too. So one year, Tyler takes me to a carnival, right? And I think I was like 11 years old. We were playing games, trying to get stuffed animals and stuff like that, and I wasn't having a good night. And we go by this one thing where it's like a 25-foot, 30-foot long like cage with like this pad on the bottom, or like going like this with like a baseball catcher pan on it. And you got 3 baseballs, and you had to throw them to the catcher. And if 2 of the 3 pitches that you threw were the same miles per hour, you won a prize. So Taj and I waited in line, and nobody won. And so I get up, and I'll throw as hard as I can. None of my pitches, they're all different. So Taj gets up there. His first pitch, he goes like this, 32 miles an hour. And the guy, running the game says, "Sir, read the sign to your left." And then over there to the left says, "No underhand throwing allowed." So Taj doesn't hear him. His second pitch, throws an underhand. It's 33 miles an hour. So the guy says, "Sir, you can't throw underhand. You can't throw underhand." Taj doesn't hear him. Third pitch, throws an underhand, 32 miles an hour. So I start jumping up and down, I'm going to get a stuffed animal. And the attendant was just like, whatever, So he grabs the animal, he gives it to me, and Taj and I are walking away. And I said, "Taj, you weren't supposed to be throwing underhand." He goes, "No, I heard the guy." He goes, "But I knew underhand was the only way I was going to win." I'll always remember that. I think I might even still have that stuffed animal somewhere. But, touching on what Carly said last night, attitude reflects leadership. And, you're the greatest leader I've ever thought of.
Yeah, beautiful. Awesome.
What's that?
I don't know.
Jessica.
All day.
My hormones are going crazy.
That's no excuse.
Leave me alone.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, apparently so it is. So,
I don't really know what to say because I can't really say that much without pouring it all out. But to sum everything up, how I'm so grateful to have my Nani and Taruch and all my cousins, and I came here because I really didn't know how everyone was going to react to the whole thing. And I was scared. I was for months debating on even coming. And actually, I'm so grateful that I did, because if anything was to ever happen or anything like that, that I have all of you in my memory now of seeing you guys again. And I haven't seen you guys in forever, but yet I feel like it's still like when we were little kids. Like, we got along catching fireflies at Uncle Bill's house, I remember that, and some prize that we were all trying to get. And Andy and Carly and Justin singing, that was amazing, and you guys are great. And just pretty much how much, for me bringing the next generation into the world right now, how many people can actually say that they actually have a great-grandfather to present to their own kids? And I'm so grateful for you both.
Nice.
I really am. And I love you too, and I cherish you both. And I even told my boyfriend, like, he has no grandparents, and half of them, of my friends, don't even have anyone at all. So I'm so grateful to even be here to be looking at you. And I love you guys so much. And sorry for making everyone cry. But I'm going to cut it off now before I get carried away.
Just
And
beautiful.
happy birthday.
Just beautiful, Jessica. That was so beautiful.
Great job.
Do the right thing. That's all I gotta say. Do the right thing. Thank you.
Okay, you fucking woman.
Strong woman.
Just beautiful. It's incredible. Best ever. Best of the family ever. That was the best of all.
Sorry, I can't help it.
Just beautiful, sweet.
It's Justin's turn.
I know.
Just
I'm
beautiful
gonna
kid.
Just make this short and sweet. I talked yesterday. You and Nani raised my father, who's my idol. And I can't thank you enough for the values that you instilled in him, that are now instilled in me. I told Erin before she met you, I said, watch, when I see Taru, she's going to slap me in the face. And I love when he slaps me. And sure enough, and I believe this was in, the last time we were all together before the wedding, and I came up to you, and you saw me from a distance, and you go, hey, and you come up to me, and you just whack, right across the face. And I have never loved being slapped. So thank you for the slap, because I know where it comes from. I know exactly it comes from the heart. It means the world to me. And like I said, I cannot appreciate you guys enough for making my father.
Thank you, son. Thank you, son.
Don't repeat everything everybody else says. You know, put in your own words. Right? Right. Come a long way, but you guys were always. Yeah.
just say real quick, four quick things. I think of Mary to Aaron. You know, Mary, the 41 years is the sort of grand dame of the in-laws.
The bookend.
Steady, 41 years, right?
43 years.
43.
Wow.
Steady.
I've known you 2 years
He's
prior.
talking about how long we've been married.
That was my 51.
Steady, anchored, always there for us. You know, low ego, just there to help us. All the way to Aaron, the newest member of the family. He's just a fantastic addition, which speaks to your ability to make good choices, Justin. And everybody in between. Fran, it's so great to have you, be with us of late. You're just a quality human being. Ronnie, what can you say about Ronnie to spawn such beautiful children and have this enormous talent? And we love you so much. I think of my wife who's not with us, and Michael, what a solid guy you are.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, we need to give some credit to the choices being made among us. I think of these two right here, the oldest and the youngest, sitting next to each other, the godfather and the understudy. We're going to them two laugh tonight and tell stories, which is fantastic. It shows from end to end how solid we are. I think of the conversation that Tom and I had today, and Donna and Mama had, about really why we're here. Think about it. We're at the 700 block of North Salina Street in Syracuse, New York. And in 1913, Dad's dad, 100 years ago this year, 100 years ago, arrived in Syracuse, New York. And around that time, Mom's dad arrived here in Syracuse, New York. And Mom grew up just 2 blocks from here, lived on Prospect Avenue, which is 2-3 blocks from here. And Dad, of course, having been born here on Herkimer Street, Mom on John Street, I believe it was. I mean, let's remember why we're here. This, according to the waiter, is Little Italy. The 300 block to the 900 block is Little Italy. We're right in the heart of it. And sometimes you forget that there's a reason for Syracuse being chosen for this. It's part of our heritage, whether it's Italy or Sicily. Let's remember a little bit of our heritage that comes from Mom and Dad. And Mom today with her sharp recollection, and Dad with his support. Yeah. Here it is in a sentence.
Right.
Nana, James's father, and Nana Pauline's grandfather were brothers. We'll just leave it at that. Wow. Finally, I want to thank our sisters, Donna, Tootie, and Cindy, for their great work in preparing this event. This whole week, was that the greatest food you ever had?
Yes.
And you guys have been humble and low-key and just done a great job putting this together. So Donna and Tootie and Cindy, thank you all.
3 sisters, Tootie, work for hire.
We wouldn't have chosen this if Mom and Dad didn't choose it for their anniversary back in February. We asked them where do you want to go, and they said, Dad looked at the menu and he said Attilio's. And when we came here, I don't know if you all heard that story or not, but it was incredible. They had roses on the table. They knew it was their anniversary thanks to Tom. And the meal was right down to the spumoni, right? Yeah. Mom and Dad sat in the back seat, got loaded. Mom doesn't remember the night because she got so drunk. Yeah. She remembered the food. Were you going to say something?
Just wonder if we can get a picture of the sister committee with Mom and Dad, please.
Oh, that's nice.